This is an All Sports Station production.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills. With that, let's get up to Buffalo. Standing by at New Era Field, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we are about 15 miles south of downtown Buffalo at New Era Field in Orchard Park. The folks in Buffalo love their Bills, and a moment ago they entered to the delight of this sold-out crowd. They're set for football as their Bills will do battle with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm Brandon Godden. He's Charles Davis. Full disclosure, we both have mittens. We both have coats on up here in the booth. This one, it's going to be interesting.
I've got the long johns, the socks, the boots, you name it. You know me in cold weather, we don't get along all that well. But these games are always interesting because you never know how it's going to play out. One slip, someone's going for 80 yards, and you could lose a game.
On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And off we go from New Era Field. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the first Wyoming quarterback to go in the first round. Standing 6'5", it's Josh Allen. Devin Singletary with his first carry of the game. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. The starters now on offense, and Stefon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries, but boy, has he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stefon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Allen. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
Come on. Hey, watch it.
They'll run on first down with Singletary. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
On second down, here's a run with Singletary. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that's caught by Beasley. It's a pickup of 6.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. Well, and you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. Third down conversion here is big.
Mike 50. Here we go, G. Double tight, double tight. Three down.
They'll run on first down. Singletary. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That good for 19 and a first down. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Tight, watch left. Hey.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Eluding the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
98 for Mike.
Don't let him breathe. Don't let him breathe. Play that Johnny D. Go.
Looking to throw again on second down. Allen, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. From 13 yards out. And the Bills take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards, and it culminates in a Bills touchdown. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
An absolute prototype for what you draw up as a big, strong quarterback that has to stay in the pocket and make big throws with people all around him and even hanging on him, and still has that type of strength to get the ball downfield. Ben Roethlisberger, an absolute rock in the pocket, but he also can escape and make big plays that way as well.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Watch the run.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Like 30, 50, 50, like I said. And what's that? And what's the ball?
From the 39, Roethlisberger throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver, and it's third down. And we take a look at the Bills' defense.
Trent Murphy's #1 attribute is playing against the run, but he continues to work hard on his pass rush skills.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 42.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game too. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 42-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 25-yard line.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? On a jet sweep, this is Johnson. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Roethlisberger. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, they have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Now Roethlisberger. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. From 3 yards out, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown.
That felt like tremendous scouting, great film watching, and creating a game plan to start this off, not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You can have a lot to handle in this one.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. That play never got off the ground.
And a lot of times defenses want to disguise their intentions. Not in this case. They came full bore after him and really whacked him on that play. A big-time loss.
Mike 5-5.
180.
Mike 5-5.
Get that quarterback at all costs.
Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. Going deep for Diggs. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play here for Buffalo. And even 40 yards.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off and coaches go, 2 hands, 2 hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with a defender right there. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run here with Singletary. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
180.
98 for Mike. Here we go.
On 2nd down, Singletary looking to find a lane, but he can't, reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Bud Dupree came out of the University of Kentucky determined to let everyone know that they play football there as well as basketball. A terrific pass rusher off the edge.
One go. 180.
For Mike.
Come on. You better bring it.
A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. And that's caught by Smith. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Allen going to come to the line here, 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. They will run with Singletary. And he'll take this one down near the 15. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Mike, 50. Right there in the middle. 55. I got one.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Allen throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Allen. It's caught. Smith. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
On 4th down, Sean McDermott trots the field goal unit out there. These two teams all tied after one. And his kick here is good. And the Bills have taken the lead. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They go play action here on 1st down. That's caught by the 6'8" tight end, Zach Gentry. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Ben leaves to counter on the draw. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Blue 30.
50. Mike 50. Now watch run.
2nd and 5 now. Roethlisberger. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
But they certainly got dented with that first down run. So now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
Here we go.
From the 36, Allen. And he finds Tyler Croft. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Throwing on first down is Allen. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Allen now looks to throw, and he finds Beasley complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down. Allen now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Allen. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Now Allen again. His throw incomplete. The Bills on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Allen to throw once more. And that is incomplete. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They find themselves trailing on the scoreboard, but it certainly hasn't been because of what they've been able to do at the receiver position.
And let's face it, partner, we've been around a lot of receivers. Has it ever been their fault when things aren't going well? We know how they operate, right? And right now what they're saying is, well, guess what? If we want to win, throw it to us even more. We're the ones making the plays.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Roethlisberger. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
But I think it's about time I took my eyes off of the secondary or the guys with the football. How about the offensive line on that snap? They took care of business.
Absolutely, and when he can stay in the pocket like that, you're going to get big plays like we just saw. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Again, it's Roethlisberger. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
Blue 30.
Mike, 49. Let him know.
What is that? Like I said.
They'll run here with Connor, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run, and the Steelers are going to retake the lead. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
Boswell for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield.
That's it, baby. That's it. That's it. Big hit.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now a run with Singletary. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one a first down pickup of 8. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Play clock all the way to 0. Didn't get the snap off. 5-yard penalty.
And you see the head coach writing that note on his play sheet right now. He's going to be addressing that with his staff. A sense of urgency, get to the line of scrimmage, snap the ball.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And his throw is incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. But it'll be 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. From the gun, Allen. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Allen going to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
These two offenses have gone up and down the field so far in the first half. Finally, I say, here's a stop on 3rd down.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Let's go.
We're certainly not going to see a better punt than that. Definitely taking a chance because if that thing clips the pylon, it comes out to the 20, but instead, it goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any.
And Ben goes down in the end zone, and that'll be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. And an alley to run.
We got this.
Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Operating from the gun. Allen got a man. It's Brown. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Now Allen. And that's knocked away and incomplete. The Bills send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard.
Check back. Black, what's that?
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down.
Check.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
Well, that shows an excellent understanding about down and distance. 3rd and 4. Just explodes off the line, essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, catch the football, and he has more than enough for the first down. Well done.
Roethlisberger now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up at halftime while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box. We'll be sending you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half. Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Setting up the screen, this is Samuels. 27 yards there, a first down.
Hey, that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front. Completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Again, it's Roethlisberger. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Roethlisberger now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Blue 30.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Under a minute to play here in the half. Time for a late drive.
It makes sense when you think about it. Hey, try and get a field goal, give yourself a lead going into the half. But if you're going to do this, you better have supreme trust in your quarterback. Supreme trust in the guy who's going to handle the football. Because if you turn it over here, not only do you go in down at the half, you've given the momentum squarely to your opponent.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now Allen. And his throw here's incomplete. Tyler Kroft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. So the shotgun snap to Allen, rolling to his right. He can run for it, and he will. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Crown 80! Watching your five. You better be afraid of me. Go.
Allen now on first down. And that's complete to Brown. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Come on now, come on now.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. The snow certainly making conditions difficult, and it's not likely to get better anytime soon, as we turn it right back over to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow still continuing to fall as we are back underway. This one taken just inside the 10. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Here we go. Blue 30.
15, check back 15. Time to go, night. Kill.
On 2nd down, Samuels. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Blue 30.
Come on out here, come get some.
He'll try and run forward with counter. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. I guess give him credit for at least getting back to the line of scrimmage, Charles, because he could have easily lost a couple there.
He showed a lot of fight and grit on that run, and it's the type of play that coaches aren't going to wait for film session to praise. They're going to go to every position and say, that's the kind of effort we need from all of you.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1 yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. Singletary again, and he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And an alley to run. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. The Bills send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And the Steelers set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Off the edge, Jerry Hughes gets the sack.
Like how they've started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. So they still get the completion even though the blitz was on. But the blitz got there. Does that stay in the mind of the quarterback the next couple plays?
That's what you're hoping for. That's what you're planning for. It's a little risk-reward, right? You're leaving your guys on an island back there in man coverage. But you take the chance that you get to the quarterback, and so he gets completion here. Congratulations. Keep coming at him, and hopefully it pays off by the end of the game that you're starting to get to him while still able to cover on the back end.
Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. They go right back to Singletary. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1.
He's not going to get me.
Now Allen from the gun. He'll throw. The open man is Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
50, 55.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning.
On first down, Singletary. It's Big Vince Williams who made the tackle.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Here's Singletary. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on third and just a yard.
Mike, 50%. Ready? Eat.
Watch the pass.
They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield, and spilling everything.
The Bills send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
That's one where you probably give the ball carrier a bit of a mulligan, right? Where was he going to go there?
Yeah, you could almost see his brain turning over from our perspective. Just put your foot in the ground and go, except there was no place to put his foot in the ground, and there was no place to go. No room to roam.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Ready? 230.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Here now Roberts. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Singletary. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Throwing on 2nd down. Allen. Now he'll pull it down. Allen hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. There he goes left side. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Extra point now by Boswell. And that makes it a 9-point game. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Bills. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Stephon Tuitt able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Singletary here running out of the gun. They'll wind up getting 10 back there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in a long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
Let's go, fellas.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Allen to throw. Throwing again. And Diggs has it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 39.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Here's Allen to throw it. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. To throw, it's Allen. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Cameron Hayward, his 2nd sack of the night.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off near the 29. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, It cost him. We could have a great finish.
Point after here coming up. And the lead is down to 2. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 24.
Under 10, under 10.
It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Blue 30. Kill.
Again, it's Connor. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
That's certainly one way to beat the blitz. Get it out of your hands quickly and get it to the big fella.
Very effective. Saw the pressure, got rid of it, and the completion ensued. Roethlisberger now. 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. Ebron with it over the middle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler 1st. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 38. Here's Roethlisberger. Ebron caught left side. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. They go draw play. This is Samuels. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On a jet sweep, this is Johnson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The Steelers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. Roethlisberger will throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Ed Oliver, his 2nd sack of the night. So here we go. On now is the kicker, Chris Boswell. This one from 48 yards away. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got it.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. A quick throw taken in by Diggs. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Allen. Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. That's caught by Brown for a Bills touchdown. John Brown, his 2nd touchdown of the night, and the Bills have once again taken the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3. So the shotgun snap to Allen. He's going to take off with it. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Less than 2 minutes to play. Down to the wire we go in a 1-point game. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Roethlisberger got to get his guys to the line as quick as he can. Now it's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the night as his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes.
Wow, I know it's a never say never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
All day, defense, all day.
Roethlisberger to throw. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And he is not going to make it. So they won't be able to move this lead up to a touchdown as it'll remain a 5-point ball game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Allen and the Bills now down by 5, 80 seconds remaining. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Allen. And Diggs has it. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
First down now, but that clock rolling.
198.
To throw is Allen. It's complete to Diggs. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Allen. Escaping the pressure right. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he gets this one down to the 24. Able to find a lot of empty space there. Picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
He's back to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Back to throw. On the move to his left. He's going to take off. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow. How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3. To the air, Allen. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking two plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Roethlisberger. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down.
A costly sack. They'll have to use a timeout here. And barring a defensive penalty, they'll be looking at one final play. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. One last shot for Roethlisberger. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the 4th.
Man, you're exactly right, and when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
And his kick is indeed good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Right here, right here.
They'll get 5 on the dump off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Third and 1, trying to keep this drive in overtime going. A big one coming up. First throw of overtime for Allen. And he's able to find Diggs. 20, 10, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Buffalo.